Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name's Katie if you're new here, and on this channel I share my adventures hiking in New Zealand's outdoors. So for this vlog you're joining me on an adventure in the Kaikoura Seaward ranges. So right now you're looking at Mt Fyffe Hut. It only takes a couple of hours from the road end to walk up there, and I met this fellow hiker who was just staying at the hut for the night. And then on the first day it was a little bit overcast, but you could still see all the way down to Kaikōura and along the coastline. The next morning the weather was much better and the views were amazing, so remember to bring your camera if you ever do this walk. Hi guys, so I'm on my first break 10 minutes into the walk up to Mt Fyffe Summit from Mt Fyffe Hut. It's day 2 of my tramp and the weather is absolutely stunning. Very sunny, and it's not nearly as cold as it was during the night or yesterday with all the mist we had. So I'm looking forward to a beautiful day of tramping today over to Hapuku Hut. So it's supposed to be a 6-hour walk and there's only one river crossing right at the end and a bit of a descent down some steep shingle I think. But yeah, I did this walk a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, as part of a Duke of Edinburgh tramp. Yeah, and I think I'm a lot fitter and more capable now, so we'll see how it goes. As you can see guys, there's quite a bit of snow here, but luckily it's quite hard and crunchy and therefore not too difficult to walk through. I'm just hoping that I don't encounter too much snow or avalanche risk on my way down from the mountain. Hi guys, so I've reached the summit of Mt Fyffe and behind me there you can see a tree station. So I've had a bit of a rest and a snack here on the summit of Mt Fyffe, and I'm going to carry along this ridge line here to Gables end before I start a steep descent of 350 metres down to Kowhai Saddle. The wind's picking up a little bit, just a little bit. The patch of a bit dirtier snow here. Maybe the wind blew some of the loose soil onto it. So my phone's down to 20% and I do have a battery pack, but it would take a while to recharge it, so I'm thinking I'm going to turn the phone off and maybe not film anymore, at least until I get to the end of Gables end, or maybe the descent to Kowhai Saddle. So I'll see you later. Hi everyone, so it's about 3:20 in the afternoon and so that means it's about 3 or 4 hours since I last spoke to you and updated you in this vlog, and I've had my lunch, read my book, had like a couple of little breaks, and that was really lovely, and it's been non-stop sun the whole time, and then there's been some very steep descents through scree, so if you've got wobbly knees and you do this tramp, just remember to take care. My walking poles are very helpful. I need to buy new shoes, I realised, with better grip. So just to give you a little sneak peek of what I've been doing, I've been descending this hill, but then there's a lot more to it than what you can see from here, so it just goes back there and then it sort of goes on for about 3 hours roughly, more or less. And so I am now on Kowhai Saddle, and here's the sign to prove it, and the altitude is 1153 meters, so it is 2 hours to Hapuku Hut, and that's in that direction. And I'm really hopeful that I'm going to come to a stream where I'll be able to have a drink and refill my water, because I've got like just a sip of water left, which is hardly enough to sustain me for the next 2 or 3 hours. I'm expecting it might take me 3 hours rather than 2 to get to the hut, because I like to take my time, especially on downhill sections. I've got quite strong ankles, but my knees can get a little bit shaky, and then my wrists holding onto the poles get a little bit shaky too, so I just like to take my time. And my rule of thumb is never trust any rocks, no matter how stable they may look. They could always shift under your feet. So yeah, and I also like to maintain 3 points of contact at all times when descending. So 2 is my 2 hands on the poles, and then the 3rd would always be at least 1 foot on the ground at a time. That's just a general rule of thumb. But it's the most gorgeous day, and I'm just loving listening to the sound of silence, the wind rustling in the tussocks, and my own footsteps on the stones, and yeah, the odd bird call, but not too many birds up here. I did see one little bird. Yeah, so I'm just very, very lucky, and I definitely recommend this tramp. I just also would reiterate that make sure you've got really good footwear with good grip, and that if you've got shaky knees you need to take some poles, and if you're unsure at all, definitely take a buddy, because it's nice to have backup and someone else to talk to if you're at all worried or stressed out about anything. That said, I can't recommend solo hiking enough. If you're up for it and you're a confident hiker, it's absolutely amazing. So a couple of hours later I arrived at Hapuku Hut, and I was so hungry that I had an early dinner, and here you can see me washing my pots after the meal had ended in the nearby river. When I'm washing my pots in rivers, I use friction, so either a pot scrub or just my fingers or a spoon, and I definitely don't use any dishwashing liquid because that's very bad for the environment. So definitely recommend that you do the same if you're trying to focus on kaitiakitanga or helping and sustaining the environment. Hi guys, so it's 7 minutes to 7 in the evening, and I got to the hut probably about an hour ago, and I've had dinner, which was rice with beans and one of those easy packs ready to go. And then I also tried to make mung bean fritters, but they sort of burned to the bottom, so I just mixed it in half cooked with my rice, and I've eaten all that, and now I've just done the dishes, and I really feel like eating something sweet. But I'm going to give you guys a little tour of the hut first. So up there is the toilet sign showing that it's 3 hours that way to Kowhai Saddle. You can see the orange track marker just across the river there, and that's the way I've come up from Kowhai Saddle, and that's the way I'll be going back tomorrow. And then Kowhai Hut is 5 hours away, so that's where I'm headed tomorrow. And then Hapuku Valley car park is that way, not going that way. And then here's the hut. So over here is the woodshed. You go up these steps. I've got some socks and shoes drying here. This will be a nice place to admire the view tomorrow morning. Then there's this bench here for storage, a bucket for ash, a sign saying do not steal the hand saw, a couple of other saws, and then you open it. There's a mirror, a broom, and then here's the intentions book. Here's where you put your hut tickets. Here's our information board, and it's danger, so if you've got a cooker on, then you need to make sure you've got a window open so that you don't get carbon monoxide poisoning. Then there's all these goodies here that people have left behind. I found an onion that isn't in too bad shape, which I might use. And then there's this cleaning dishwashing stuff under the bench, which I actually took down with me to the river just to carry my pots, although I didn't use the dishwashing liquid because I don't think it's very good for the environment. Just use my hands and the pot scrub that I saw in there. And then I've got the window open with this sandfly mesh because it was very hot and stuffy when I first arrived. There's the view out the first window. Then there's these benches here which you can sit by the fire on. I don't think I'm going to light the fire tonight because it is so warm. And then over here is where I've got my bed set up. There was already a little pillow here, so I've just put it inside my pillowcase that I brought with me. And then I've got a t-shirt drying from yesterday. This is cotton, and I got really cold walking up yesterday in the mist, so cotton actually moves heat away from your body. It's not the best material to wear when hiking. And then I've got my gear, like my raincoat, my backpack, yeah, all this gear, stuff to do. I've got this book which I might read tomorrow. And then there's this blue duck sign on the wall. It's getting dark, it's hard to see. Yeah, as I said, it's pretty much 7 o'clock now. This is the view out that window. Here's my messy cooking station where I tried to make my mung bean patties. I think the mung bean stuff will still be really good and filling. I'm expecting to feel very full soon. Sometimes it takes a while to move down to your tummy. And yeah, there's also this candle which I'm looking forward to lighting later. Hi guys, so I've just made this most delicious breakfast for myself. It is banana, my oats with raisins, and then I've also got some omega-3 fats added in the form of hemp seeds, chia seeds, which also add protein, and ground linseed. And then I've added coconut cream on the top, and that is really the most delicious part because it just adds such a rich flavour that really feels quite gourmet. So I just thought I'd share that with you in case you wanted to recreate it. I had it quite a few times when I was volunteering at the sanctuary, and it's really tasty. I do have some stuff here to keep me busy at the hut. I've got a book to read, I've got sewing to do, I'm making a birthday present for my mum, or I could do some writing. So I've got a choice of things to do, and I also thought I could go back along the track later on this afternoon if I have a hut day in the direction of Hapuku carpark, which I haven't been to, so I could do half an hour that way and just have a restful, creative day in the outdoors. Could be nice. And there's no one here at the moment, although that could change later, but we'll see what I decide to do. I think the latest time I can make up my mind will be about 12 o'clock maybe, because then I'll still have 7 hours of daylight to get to Kowhai Hut if I choose that option. So it's about 11:32 at the moment, and I've pretty much decided to have a hut day. I went for a little walk along the track that I pointed out before, and I had lunch, but it was a couple of hours ago, so it was really a second breakfast, I guess, in terms of time, which is chocolate and a sandwich with pesto and spinach and carrot and a peanut butter slug. If you know what those are, they're produced by Pix in Nelson, and they're basically like a plastic tube, and you rip off the top and you can squeeze out peanut butter. So I had one of those, and after all that I still wasn't feeling very energetic, and my legs are aching slightly, so I think I am going to have a hut day. It started out pretty sunny this morning, and it's still sunny, but the weather's closing in a little bit. You can see there's a bit of mist or low-hanging cloud up the valley, and same up behind me towards Kowhai Saddle. So I hope I haven't missed a good weather window, because if I had started this morning I would be on Kowhai Saddle. We're a bit past it by now, but you've got to listen to your body. So yeah, this is a prime example of me listening to my body. And so I've been reading my book, which is just up here. So I've been reading this book. It's a mystery by Lady Antonia Fraser, set in the Highlands of Scotland, and called The Wild Island, and I'm in the wild right now, so that part's very fitting. And I've got Scottish ancestry actually. It's not my favourite book, but it's actually not too bad, especially when you're out in the bush and you're just desperate for something to read. So I've been reading that, cuddled up in my sleeping bag, and then been doing some embroidery. I'm making a birthday present for my mum, so mum, please don't watch this video before February the 24th. yeah, so it's a lovely quiet day, got a place to myself. That could change of course, but we'll see how it goes. Hi guys, so it's 2:05 p.m. and it's been really cold and miserable. I also realised this morning that I am very low on gas, so I'm trying not to use the gas. Luckily some other kind people had set up the fireplace ready to go. I am not the best person at lighting fires, but I'm really desperate because today is so cold. It started spitting and it's just gotten really cold. And I was reading the Wilderness magazine and they had an article on cold soaking, so I'm cold soaking my porridge oats and also some rice. The porridge is for tomorrow and the rice is either going to be for lunch, a late lunch which I haven't had yet, or dinner tonight. But I've got it up there on top of the fire just in case it can get a tiny bit of heat before the fire goes out. But maybe I'll be lucky and the fire won't go out and I'll actually be able to cook my food properly. And I even found some hot chocolate that someone had left here on that food shelf up there, and then I've got my own tea, so it would be so nice if the fire would stay alight. It would be just make my day. I also lit the candle up there because it's just so gloomy and cold in here, even though it's not nighttime. So fingers crossed that the fire stays alive. This is the tiny pack of matches that my mum put together for me about 5 years ago. Miraculously I've held on to it, never really needed to use it before today I think, or maybe I've used it once or twice and some still is left over, but yeah, it's just a couple of pieces of match paper which she cut off, and then a couple of matches, one of which I've now used, so I've got to remember to get more matches. Got a cigarette lighter somewhere, I'm just not sure where. The fire is just helping so much with the atmosphere in this place, and it's making me feel warmer and not so lonely. The top of the fireplace is heating up slightly. So far my food doesn't feel warm at all, but it's not as cold as it was, so that's hopeful. Another update, it is 5:23 p.m. and I did end up managing to cook myself a bowl of oats with raisins, etc. I didn't have any more banana, but I put some of that lovely coconut cream on it, and it wasn't as cooked as it would be if the heating situation was perfect, but it hit the spot and it was warm. And then I had a pot of rice as well with spinach, which was sort of an early dinner, and we'll have some of that left over to eat as well, but later if I get hungry. And then I also had a pot of hot chocolate, which was lovely, and it's still raining outside, as you can see. So I'm just going to keep the fire stoked up and then enjoy an early night. I've been reading, did a bit more sewing, yeah, enjoy the fire, and so far I'm still by myself. Yeah, and I've really got my fingers crossed that tomorrow the weather improves, because it would be nice going up to the saddle in the sun. Hi guys, so I just left the hut about 15 or 20 minutes ago and I'm on my way back up to Kowhai Saddle. There's a little bit of snow on the tops and it was very misty and gloomy this morning. Clearly it's been snowing up there, but then the sun came out just in time for my walk, which I'm very grateful for. So I'm headed in that direction there, just across this little river and towards the red triangle, and then up through the bush to Kowhai Saddle. So this is a view of the waterfall from near Kowhai Hut, and then this is Kowhai Hut, and there was a washing line to hang any wet clothes, which I made use of. The hut was lovely in the afternoon sun, and I just got an early night reading adventure stories about people lost at sea. Morning everyone, it's 6:47 in the morning and I've just poked my head outside the hut to see what the day's looking like, and there's this little bird flying around in circles. Oh, there might be more than one. I'm not sure what kind of bird it is. Let's see if I can zoom in. quite time to start walking yet. I might get back in bed and read for a while. As I said, I don't have much gas, so I'll see if there's enough to boil some water, but I shook the gas canister before and it really felt like there's next to nothing, so I'll be lucky if I get a couple of seconds out of it. Yeah. I ate a lot of lollies yesterday, so I'm just looking at my skin to see if there's any new wrinkles. It looks like there might be. That's what happens when you eat too much sugar, apparently. It's not very good for your skin, so I sort of vowed to include more crackers next time and more gas so that I can cook my dinner. Last night my dinner was just a peanut butter slug. Very sad. So yeah, looking forward to getting back to town and having some nice food from the supermarket. Hi guys, so I'm about an hour and a half into my walk this morning. It feels like less, but I just passed a sign that said I was at least an hour and a half in, so going by the sign at least, and it is about 9:30. Yeah, sunny. I started out walking in shade, which was actually quite nice, and now it's sunny for the last wee bit of the walk today. Yeah. Oh, I just saw a little bit of snow through the trees. I'll see if I can get a picture of it for you. Just up there's a bit of snow, and then that's sort of the direction of the hut up there, sort of obscured from you. You follow the river around the corner there, and then up that way is the hut, and then quite a bit further up, 3 hours walking, if not a bit more, is Kowhai Saddle, and this is the path to the car park. So I'll do my outro now and say thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I hope it inspires you to get out there and do some tramping. This is a really accessible tramp because it's just a tiny way out of Kaikoura, so if you're ever in Kaikoura, the Hapuku circuit is a good one to try. Yeah, and I've been very lucky with the weather. I've had a good time. I probably would change a couple of things if I was to do it again, like I would bring extra gas, because my gas was quite low, and yeah, that meant that I didn't really have any cooked dinner last night or breakfast this morning, so I've just been surviving with peanut butter slugs, which is okay, and I feel like I'm almost doing a fasting diet, which is good in itself, but next time I would bring gas, and I'd also bring more food like crackers and stuff, because yesterday I had a bit of a meltdown coming down from Kowhai Saddle because I was just eating lollies, and I do have stuff going on in the background of my life, and I was like really stressing out about that. So in future I'd probably prefer to eat something healthy like crackers. Yeah, but all in all it's a good tramp, and I'm glad I decided to do it, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Ka kite!